sports all plays. Yeah. All sports all plays. All sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.S.R. GonzoSportsRoom. Here Wednesday night, June 21st, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzo'S. He's trying to get his seat back from the dog. He got up for a minute, dog stole his seat. And we're also joined by Jay McLovin. How's it going, Jay?
It's going well. First off, I just want to say, Tony, is your booster seat sponsored by anybody yet?
Not yet.
Let me know when that happens. I would love to be a part of that. Secondly, not sports related, but I do think it's a point of interest that we should just at least mention on the show. I saw this on Facebook, and I thought it was quite interesting, Gonzo. It says, when you're a billionaire lost in a submarine at sea, and your stepson posts a selfie at a Blink-182 concert, to which his selfie says specifically, and I do want to quote this accurately, it might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at a Blink-182 show, as they are my favorite band and music helps me through difficult times. You can't make this shit up. It is what it is. But I'm going to tell you right now, if my ass ever gets lost at sea and my wife's at a Blink-182 concert, I swear to God, I'm going to come back and haunt that woman every day of her life.
That whole situation is out there.
I will have on the nurse costume with the gloves. The nurse costume with the gloves. At the Blink-182 concert, that will be me. I couldn't help it. Had to chip in with that one.
So I'll tell you what, Jay.
The fucking world are we living in, man? The Astros are losing. My wife's at a Blink-182 concert on my deathbed.
Hey, what a time to be alive, right?
I don't know. Apparently not. Apparently not.
I'll tell you what, hey, baseball, man. Baseball's been exciting. I don't know if it's just because my team is playing good, but you got a lot of teams this year that necessarily people probably didn't think would be in the position that they are right now. I mean, the Arizona Diamondbacks. I mean, no, I don't think anybody thought they'd be in the first place in that division. The Cincinnati Reds. You have Tampa Bay. I don't think people thought Tampa Bay Rays was going to be as good as they are. Baltimore Orioles have been a good team. The Atlanta Braves have been hot, and Braves and Reds face off starting tomorrow. So hopefully the Reds can stay hot. Man, we've won 11 in a row. We just got off. You were talking about how before the show how Houston's on getting ready to start a big road trip, 10-game road trip.
Yeah,
Reds just got off a 10-game road trip and went 9-1 on that 10-game road trip. That's really what has turned our season around. We started 1-9 on the road this season. Now we have a winning record on the road. I think we're 500 at home now.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. I feel like you said earlier, man. When the season first started, or even towards the end of last season, when the Reds traded Castillo to the Mariners, I remember when Gonzo, we were having conversations, and you were really upset with the direction in which your team was going, that you couldn't keep the free agents, and you felt like you guys were just in a tailspin of craziness. And now you guys have promoted some of your young guys up, and De La Cruz and stuff. You got some really good pitching coming on, and your young guys. Habit, what's that guy's name? The one that took out the Astros the other night? Is it Habit or
Andrew Abbott?
Abbott. Okay, so you got Abbott out there, pitching really well amongst others, and you guys are playing extremely good baseball right now. And again, you're at the top of your division, so it's crazy. I don't think you saw this coming. I didn't see this coming. I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. Number one, from the Reds. Number two, from the Pirates. Number three, from the Diamondbacks. I mean, there's a lot of examples out there that we didn't see coming. We certainly didn't see the Mets with all the money that they spent, but yet they can't even get to 500. Who saw any of this, truthfully?
And see what the Reds today. You mentioned Abbott. He pitched. He made his third start today, and he had 10 strikeouts. Again today, Reds had 15 strikeouts as a team today. Their pitching staff did. Bullpen. And the Reds bullpen started off the year a little shaky, but the last couple months they've turned it around. They're ranked third in the National League. The bullpen is, and they're 11th in baseball. So if our starting rotation can get healthy, I think we will be competitive the whole season.
Right, and I do want to give Stat Guy a little bit of credit, because honestly, I knew the Rangers would be better. I knew Bocce coming over from the Giants to this organization with how well he is as a manager. I knew he was going to do good things for them. And obviously they brought in DeGrom, but as you know, DeGrom has not exactly been the healthiest. I think he's out for the season, but they brought in other guys to bolster up that pitching rotation. And now the Texas Rangers, right there along with Tampa Bay, are just looking ferocious on the AL side of life. And a lot of this we didn't really see coming. I mean, there's a lot of things we didn't see coming, right?
Oh, yeah. And then we were talking before the show about the Reds have won 11 in a row. First time they've won 11 in a row in 66 years. But when I was thinking about that means that the Big Red Machine, and we all know how dominant the Big Red Machine was in the 70s, they never won 11 games in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to think that a team that was that good and won those World Series and stuff never won 11 games in a row.
Remember 1990 came out from start to finish, first, all the way through.
And they never won 11 games in a row. And
I do want to keep things in perspective, though.
And if we win tomorrow, it'd be the first time we've won 12 games in a row since like 1940.
Which is interesting, because you do know who you play tomorrow.
Yeah, we play the Braves. It's going to be a good series.
Yeah, and again,
Friday, not tomorrow, Friday, but
well, you know what I'm saying. Like your next series is against the Braves, Logan's team, and this is another team though that is playing really good baseball right now. So
they've won like 9
I think and again, I want to keep in mind, it's one thing to have a winning streak. It's another thing to have a winning streak against playoff type caliber teams. I think it just gives you a little bit of credibility, and that's why I'm kind of number one. You did well against the Astros, so let's put that notch on your belt in terms of the credibility of this win streak. I don't want to minimize that at all, because you did play really well against us. You put a shellacking, and we had a lot of good pitching out there. Our bullpen obviously didn't play as well as I would have liked. But I want to say your winning streak does have a lot of credibility, because you have played some good teams. And if you could continue that win streak through the Braves, and somehow, God forbid, if you sweep the Braves, I'll be the first one to say, damn, I don't think there's anybody that's going to touch the Cincinnati Reds, at least on the NL side of it, at all. That's just how well I think you guys are doing. And momentum is a hell of a thing.
I'll be honest with you. I'm on that edge because I don't want to get too excited because it's early and
you should get excited because here's the reason why. Here's the problem.
Get excited. Well, let me finish. I can't help but get excited because the rookies. We got
don't spoil my good time, you son of a bitch. I waited 66 years.
We got a shortstop in McLean that's a rookie, and he's kind of getting overshadowed a little bit because Dele Cruz just came up and he's playing so well. But McLean might be he's looking probably going to be an all-star.
Yeah.
He's like second all-star voting.
I wouldn't be surprised if McLean winds up, being an all-star. That would not surprise me.
You got Spencer Steer that's been playing at Rookie of the Year level all year.
How about that relief pitcher?
And then our closer, he's 19 for 19 on saves this year. Diaz. So so it's hard not to get I don't want to get too excited because I know it's early, but man, if you just look at the team, the potential's there. We just got Joey Votto back. Nick Senzel just got back healthy. Like I said, we're right up there with the most people on the IL in baseball. And we're still playing. We're still being able to play some good baseball. So I'm not gonna lie, it is exciting.
I will have to say this though. I was wrong because they said they was going to be competitive next year, and I was worried about that even being competitive next year. But I still have to question. Where would they be right now if they would have kept one of those starting pitchers? Where would they be right now if Castillo was doing that?
Yeah, but Tony, at the end of the day, man, we can play that what if game a lot. Yeah. All you really have to know is regardless of whether you had them or don't have them, you got an 11-game winning streak going. Hopefully, maybe you'll strike it to 12, and you don't have them, and that's amazing in and of its own right. So, what I would say to that is, hey, yeah, maybe not, because you don't know how they would have played this season in this environment. All we know is what you got right now. You got chemistry, you got momentum, you got good baseball, and that's all you really need. And let's just stay at that, and let's see how far we can ride that wave. Now, I will say this, Gonzo. Number one, first of all, thank you, Dustin. I appreciate it. I am a sexy Hawaiian from Skillet. I do appreciate that. Number two, I gave you mad props on your observation of the Rangers. I want to let you know that we put that out there about you. But number three, your biggest adversary for me, I think, and what can destroy a lot of teams, especially look at the Yankees. The Yankees came out so super hot last year. Everybody was like, this could be the best season in all of baseball since baseball was invented. And, of course, as you saw about a week or so before the All-Star break, they went off that cliff of Niagara Falls, and they never came back on the right side of goodness ever. So the only thing I'm going to say about that is the All-Star break, you either go into it or you go into it hot and you come out of it cold, or you go into it cold and you could come out of it hot, or you can go into it hot and come out of it hot. The Astros went in to the All-Star break hot, and we came out of it hot. Matter of fact, we played the Yankees going into the All-Star. We played the Yankees coming out of the All-Star. We kicked the shit out of them both times. So my point is this. The Reds' true test isn't so much that they can get 12 games. The 12-game win streak, that would be nice. That would be great. The true test for this Reds team, because I don't think either one of you guys are going to be happy with just a win streak. I wouldn't be. Not to say that's not a great thing, but I think for the Cincinnati Reds, your main thing that's going to make you happy is making the postseason, number one, and then going deep in the postseason, number two. Those are the things that are going to make you happy. Oh, yeah. I think how you go into the All-Star break and how you come out of the All-Star break, and if you can avoid the injury bug or the rookie wall, those things, are going to be the telltale signs of how this season ultimately will end up.
And like I told Dad earlier, I've been saying it all season. The main thing is, hey, we know the winning streak's going to end at some point. You're not going to win the rest of your games now all the way through the end of the season. It's not going to happen. That's not realistic. But like I told Dad all year, the main thing is win series. Win series and don't get swept in series. If you can do that, especially in the especially where they put the position they put themselves in now. If you can just win series, or even if you lose the series, don't get swept in series, you're going to be able to stay competitive in that division because the spot you put yourself in. You just can't. You can't go. Yeah, you're not going to keep a winning streak going forever, but you can't turn around and have like a 7 or 8 game losing streak. You have to avoid having that 8-9 game losing streak. And if they can do that, I think they'll have a good chance of making the playoffs.
Absolutely. Two things. One, John says, Jay make love me tender. You know what? I appreciate a good line, and that's a good line. Thank you, John Suggs. I appreciate that. Number 2, Tony. You know, and Tony, I know you know this. Many years ago, back in the early 80s, hell, 70s, 60s, you go into the local barber shop. You got the old guy from Andy Griffith and Mayberry. You walk up in there, you sit down, you put your newspaper up while you're getting your hair cut. You're talking sports, you're talking life, right? I had that retro experience today when I went and got my haircut done and my beard all lined up and everything. I literally walked into a barbershop that was the oldest barbershop in Texas, and it was like walking back in time, like I went back to Mayberry. And I literally talked. All I did was the whole entire haircut, about 45 minutes. We talked baseball the entire time, baseball, and the Cincinnati Reds were a very top topic of conversation. And one of the biggest things, and I think Dustin said it best there in his comment, was the trade deadline and what would teams do at the trade deadline. And that was kind of where I wanted to segue with this to you specifically, Gonzo. What do you think the Cincinnati Reds would do, if anything, before the trade deadline? Or do they even need to do anything?
I mean, if they do anything, I think they should go either after maybe an experienced starting pitcher or a reliever. Position player wise, I wouldn't make no big changes there. Or we're hitting the ball well, or we have a good team chemistry on the field, and you have all these young players, and you just got Joey Votto back. That gives you some more experience. So I don't think we really need to mess with our position players, because we're getting them guys getting Senzel and Votto healthy. That gives us a little more depth on our bench as well for pinch hitting. So I think if they do anything, it would be trying to get maybe an experienced starter or maybe a middle reliever.
I've already got one picked out.
Yeah, who would you be looking at, Tony?
He
likes Giolito
for White Sox,
from the White Sox.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be possibly available and probably could be a rental. Probably wouldn't be somebody necessarily that you would even keep after.
You wouldn't have to pay him a bunch.
No, I have to pay a lot, and they have plenty of people in the farm system that they could give up.
Yeah, I would be careful, though, about giving up some of that farm system. I feel like that's really what's been your biggest asset that's got you where you are now, is bringing guys up from that farm. So I would be careful with that.
I don't think they'll give up much out of the farm.
No, I don't think they have to give up. But the big problem is we got so many shortstops and third basemen.
Yeah, we're loaded at short.
I mean, we've got 20 infielders. We're trying to convert our
infielders. And that's what I'm saying. So if you got like that kind of surplus, then yeah, you could definitely do – you can definitely make some moves with that. Absolutely. What a time.
But to go back to John's comment here real quick, because I want to talk some NBA draft stuff too. But with the and some other baseball besides the Reds, I wouldn't try to turn this into a whole Red show. But hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited. So hey,
it's okay to talk Reds baseball. I mean, it's one of the hottest teams in baseball right now.
Yeah, before I go to John's comment, one thing I did want to say, because of your comment about at the barbershop talking Reds,
right,
is you're hearing a lot more national programs talk about the Reds. I listen to Sports Talk Radio Day on some of them, Fox Sports Radio. A lot of those shows was talking about the Reds, and it's been a long time since you've heard the Reds starting to get a little bit of national attention. So that's been pretty cool. But going back to his point, yeah, the Rangers have made a big jump. The Twins have started to hit a little bit of a rough patch here lately, but they've looked good this year. The Orioles have looked like a good team all year. Arizona is a big. I mean, just like back to our point, there's a lot of teams that I think are better than what a lot of people expected they were going to be this year. And
it is crazy to me. Like I know you guys just came off a big. You guys just came off a big what did you say? I think it was 18 game or 11 game road stand, right? Or 18 games in a row. I think you guys were playing. So I know your players are tired, so they're definitely due for a break. I know the Astros. I think we had we had a 9-game homestand. We get the day off tomorrow, and then we go on a 9-game road stand. It is crazy. Like these are that's a big thing. A lot of teams I think are doing this where you're having these long, road stands or home stands without any kind of days in between to really regroup or refresh yourself. Do you think that could be a problem with injuries coming down the pipe if they continue that type of trend towards playoff time in October.
I don't think so because I mean, the schedule's been like this for years, though, where they don't have many days off.
Well, yeah, and you've already noticed what they're doing with that relief pitcher.
Yeah, like, and with the Reds, I'll give the Reds credit on that. They are managing Diaz good. Like, they didn't use him today. He'll have tomorrow off as well. So they, you know what I mean? So that gives them 2 days in a row off.
Right.
Night they gave him a night off. So, I mean, they're trying not to burn the dude out. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, to make a World Series run, you have to have some luck on your side because you have to have that luck of the injury bug not tearing your team apart. I mean, that plays a lot in what teams are going to be there in the end is, are you healthy? And I mean, well, look at the Yankees, for instance, right now. They're hitting like 229 as a team. And a big part of that is because Aaron Judge is in the lineup.
Right. And that's and again, this is something that's common. It seems like in the league right now because even the Astros, we haven't had Alvarez. We've been without Alvarez for a week now, and we got 3 more weeks to go. So I don't even expect to get Alvarez back until probably after the All-Star break. At that point, we lost Lance McCullers to injury, so he's out for the season. We lost Luis Garcia, obviously out for the season. We might get Brantley back at some point. I hope. I don't know at what point we're going to get our Quiddy back, but I think injuries. And you see it across the board. The Yankees got it. The Rangers, even the Rangers have had a few injuries. And so forth. And I just wonder what we're going to look like as we get closer to October. You know, will the Rangers run into these kinds of issues with you guys? I don't think you guys will because you guys are pretty young. Like the Reds are mostly a very young team, so I'd be surprised if y'all really have to worry about the injury bug too much.
Well, we've had a lot of injuries already.
We've had a lot early in the season, so hopefully it starts. We have a healthy stretch now because we had the most players on the IL as of last week with 14. And then of course, we did get Votto back, but then we just put Hunter Green on the IL right now for a hip injury, but they say it's not serious. It's just something that started nagging him a little bit again. So they want to get taken care of now so he don't have problems later on. So,
yeah.
I figure he'll be back before too long. So, I mean, we lost Ashcraft, Ladulo, 2 other starters. So, I mean, we've already had.
Well, and again, I think even I would say probably the next 2 weeks, I think you lose De La Cruz. I plan on making a trip down to Louisiana. I'm gonna meet up with the Voodoo High Priest, and we're gonna try to see if we can get a hangnail worked in there.
Hey, he's electric to watch, man. He's fun to watch.
I'm just kidding, Melanie. I'm a total Christian. I'm not gonna talk to a Voodoo High Priest. I'm just playing. God, some people can't take a joke to say the line.
Hendrick and Stroman are available. Stay far away from Giolito. Damien says stay away from Giolito.
That's scary. Damien and Dustin agree, so that's a scary thought.
Question. So the Angels have played really well. Again, they're tied with the Astros right now for second. They're even tied with the Astros in the wild card. So they are very much an active competitor to be in the playoffs possibly. And they have said that they don't plan to move on from Ohtani. When it comes time for free agency, though, if the Angels continue to play tough baseball, could Ohtani then say, you know what, maybe I'll stay with the Angels? Yeah. And then the second part that I want you guys to comment on is look at the drought that Mike Trout has gotten himself into. He's not even playing his baseball right now.
Yeah, I think Ohtani. I mean, if they make the playoff, if they stay competitive and they make the playoffs, I think the Angels will have a chance to keep Ohtani. And if Trout can get going, I mean, they're playing pretty good. I forget what their team ERA is. I got it right here. 4.15 team ERA. So their pitching isn't terrible, but if you can get that a little bit better, and they're hitting 255 as a team on the season. So I mean, they're playing pretty good both ways there.
Right.
They're 41-34 so far in the season. They're 20-15 at home. So I mean, like you just said, they're having a pretty solid first half of the season, especially from what they've done the last couple of years. But are they going to be able to stay healthy? Is Trout going to be able to stay healthy the whole season? Hopefully Ohtani stays healthy. And because if you look on paper, how many years in a row, last 3-4 years, we all keep saying how much talent they have.
Right.
It's going to be a good team, and it's just never been able to put it together. And
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Year that they start showing signs of putting it together and have a competitive season, which would be nice because we're watching a guy's going to be an all-time great player in Ohtani, and it'd be nice for him to be on a good team where he gets more national exposure because that's going to help baseball. The dude, I like watching the dude, man. He swings that bat. Hell, if he misses the ball, he about falls down every time. As far as he swings that bat, we watched him play last night. A little bit after the Reds game because they're playing the Dodgers, weren't they? Yeah,
They're playing now.
Yeah, they're playing right now. So I mean, so I think there's a chance that Ohtani could stay there. And then Trout, sometimes with Trout, sometimes you get in those slumps and you just kind of got to work. You just kind of got to let the guy work his way out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd rather him be in a slump than be on the IL, not doing a damn thing.
You'd rather be in the slump this time of the season
rather than later.
Yeah, than the second half of the season.
You know what's interesting to me? As we were talking about all the talent, we've talked about the Mets and all the talent that they've acquired and couldn't really do much with. But what about San Diego, man? San Diego's taking in all this talent.
We were talking about this early.
Bro, but San Diego ain't done a damn thing. Matter of fact, they're on a 2-game losing streak, and they're sitting down around like second from the bottom. What the hell?
On the sports betting show this morning or this afternoon, San Diego is hitting 229 as a team.
That's insane to me.
I said it.
Bro, when you got Juan Soto, and then you got what's his name, Manny Machado, and then you got Tatis, and you're batting this way?
On the Easy Money Show, Jay, I said it was a disgrace. I said it was a disgrace that they're hitting 229 when you have Soto, Tatis, all that firepower they have in that lineup, and you're hitting 229.
That just kind of tells you a lot about that team.
You know what their team ERA is? Their pitching staff is good, man. They have a 3.79 team ERA. So their pitching staff is good, but they're not. If you're not hitting the ball, you can't score runs.
The Padres are going to be right now 4-0,
and they're losing tonight right now to the Giants.
And
I'll tell you, speaking of the Giants, so we've talked about the Reds and your 11-game hitting streak or your 11-game winning streak. The Giants are on a 9-game winning streak, and the Braves are on a 7-game winning streak. I mean, those three teams.
It's the first time that 3 teams have been on that long of a winning streak at the same time in like 40 years or something.
Yeah.
Remember that they showed the stat last night. It's crazy, but it's the first time that 3 teams, the Reds, Braves, and Giants, all have over a 7-game winning streak at the same time. It's the first time it's happened in a long time.
So how do you feel playing the Braves and you're on a 12 or 11 game and they're on a 7 game? I mean, both you guys are riding momentums that are pretty damn high.
Oh, dude, I'm excited because that ballpark in Cincy is going to be packed this weekend.
Oh, it's going to be packed.
You can already see the effect of the crowds. We had a day game today, and there was a lot of people there for a day game compared to what like day games earlier in the season. So you're starting to see the crowds show up at Great American Ballpark, and you have a hot Braves team coming in. I'm looking forward to the series this weekend. Like I said, if we do get beat, hopefully we can at least win 2 of the games and win the series.
Right.
But if honestly,
I don't think losing. I don't think losing the win streak is going to be the worst thing in the world. If you win the series, as long as if you can just win the series against them. Now, John Suggs will tell you that he says he sees you guys win the second game barely, and the Braves win the series. And I'm not inclined to disagree with him, but I would like to see, honestly. Look, I love underdog stuff. Everybody knows that Jay loves a good underdog stuff. So I am going to say I'm pulling for the Reds to win. If nothing else, I would like to see you guys win this series. I like underdog stuff. I just want you guys to get your ass kicked if you make it to the World Series by my Astros. That's all.
And even if we lose this series, if we can at least win 1 game, I'll still be. I won't be real down because for once early.
Why would you? You'll still be in first place in your division. You're still doing okay.
And it's still early in the season. So,
but I will say this for the Reds.
You're not going to win every game, but don't get me wrong. It'd be nice to win the series, at least win 2 games in it. I'd like to see keep this winning streak going for a while just because it just gets more buzz around it and it makes it more exciting. I mean,
but again, if we're really to take this Reds team seriously, I know you say you're okay with getting one, but I don't think that's going to be good enough. I think you really, if you want to get that clout and that respect, and you really want to make a serious move, you really do got to win this series.
No, I agree with that, but what I'm saying is, the main thing is don't get swept.
Yeah. No. The main thing is you need to stop speaking loser.
No,
for real. No, for real.
I agree.
It's time to get that winning mentality. We got to start speaking winning mentality.
No, they need to win this series. I agree 100%. But what I'm saying is,
I know.
At worst,
Gonzo, I know. See, Gonzo, you've been losing so long. Bubba, you've been losing so long. You don't know how to handle winning. It's okay. I get it.
We need to win every series.
Oh yeah, I want to win every series. But what I'm saying is, you can't get swept.
I would be a lot more confident if
hey, listen, I'm just here to train you. You're doing great things. You got a good team. I'm just trying to get you in that winning mentality.
I'm in the winning mentality.
Like put your nuts where your mouth is. Damn it, let's go.
Just wait till if we're in first place after the All-Star break.
Hey, listen, if you're in first,
you think I'm starting to be bad now? You're really gonna have to hear me then.
Hey. And like I said, man, hey, I'm pulling for the Reds. I like a good underdog. I really do. And the Braves are the big bad bear of that of their division, certainly of the league right now. Again, with their record and the way they're playing is just outstanding. So you're going against a really tough team, and let's see what the Reds are really truly about. No way Angels keep Ohtani. He'll be gone to a bigger market, well above 500 million. Again, John, I'm right there with you, man. He's going to look for the quant. I don't think 500 million is going to get it done. I think Ohtani is really looking more around the 600 million. I think 500 million got Trout. I think a two-way player like Ohtani is going to take probably about 600 million. Truthfully.
All right.
And I don't think the Angels are willing to spend. But I don't know though, because the Angels did spend 500 million for Trout. Will they spend 600 million? I don't think they have it. I don't think that market or that team can afford 600 million. I think Ohtani probably most likely will walk in free agency. I really do. I don't think they can afford him.
Let's see here. Man, I don't know about Seattle. We were talking about this earlier as well, John, me and Dad on the sports betting show this afternoon. Easy Money, a sports betting show. If you haven't checked it out, check us out Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, ASAP Sports Network, and GonzoSportsRoom network as well. My picks are 354 and 290 on the year. Little plug there real quick. But, man, this Seattle team, the promise they started to show toward the end of the season last year and then in the playoffs, and then the way they've came out and played this season, to me has been disappointing. I know they were 35. Well, they're 35 and 37 now. And I really expected them to have a better record than that at this point in the season after the way they finished last season. But they're another team. They're hitting 227 as a team. Their pitching staff has a 3.87 ERA. So the pitching staff's not the problem. But if you're only hitting 227, just like we was talking about the Padres, it's hard to score runs if you're not hitting the ball.
It is. And a lot of people have to really understand, number one, is the Mariners are in a tough – look, we're a tough division this year. I know Frankie and Pride and a few of the guys have said in previous seasons that our division has been a little lackluster, but that has kind of come and gone. The Rangers are playing well. We're playing well. The Angels are playing well. And the Mariners, granted, they brought in a few key components, but truthfully, they just don't have the full makeup to really compete, not only in our division, but in our league as well. I mean, it's just a tough road for those guys.
Hey, Jake, did you ban somebody?
He said what?
Did you ban somebody?
Yeah, I put Damien in timeout.
I said you banned them.
No, I didn't ban him. Wow, it does say ban.
I'm not the only one.
It says Daniel Hernandez was banned and their comments were removed. What happened there? I didn't even
Okay, so what happened was he was talking about the Astros cheating, And I said, bro, we ain't been cheating in a hot minute. He knows that. So it did say timeout. And I thought I clicked on the timeout, but maybe it slid down a little bit and hit band. My bad, Damien. You'll get over it. Damien, just go over to YouTube. You'll come right back in. It's okay.
He'll be back on a different account here in a minute, but because he comes out 5 different accounts.
Hey, listen. Hey, Tony, look. At the end of the day, Tony, look. You know, I don't segregate.
No, you don't. Well, wait a minute though. Maybe you do because I'm Mexican. I think Damien's Mexican.
No,
what the hell? What the hell?
Hey,
Jay?
what's your problem with Mexicans, Jay? Come on now.
I mean, I eat Tex-Mex every day, so I don't know what the problem is. I love a good tortilla as much as the next guy. And if you got a good salsa verde, I'm your best friend. So I don't know what we're talking about. I will say this. For those restaurants that are putting skirt steak in your fajitas, let's upgrade to sirloin medium rare. That's all I'm saying. Let's just get some sirloin medium rare, cut it into some fajitas, and we're good to go. That's all I'm saying.
I can't. Wow. Did you read that comment?
Yeah, I read that.
He said Dustin Reese and Damon are the same. Wow, John, I wasn't.
Man.
Wow.
Whoa.
Ooh.
John coming in hot.
Yeah, he is, man. That's some fighting words there.
Man, listen, if I had a hot take button, I'd be pressing the hell out of it. Wow. Woo.
Hey,
John, what did Dustin do to you?
Hey, let's talk a little bit of NBA. Got the NBA draft coming up tomorrow.
We do.
You got what people are saying is the best prospect maybe ever, if not the best prospect since LeBron James. And Victor Wembanyama, I think I said his name right.
Wembanyama. Yep.
7'4".
7'5".
7'5".
And he's got like a 7'7" wingspan. I mean, his wingspan is stupid.
I saw him standing next to JJ Redick, who's 6'4", and he made JJ Redick.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he threw out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium, and literally, I would call this man Praying Mantis. That should be his new nickname, Praying Mantis, because this guy, when you see him, he looks like sticks. He looks like I'm a 25-cent a day meal program coming out of Ethiopia. We need to get some meat on his bones. Seriously, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he is skinny. Like when I say skinny, he is skinny.
But we've seen players that came into the league small like that and have changed their bodies, like Giannis.
It's true, we did. We also saw Chet Holmgren with the same body frame, and he goes out with injury. So,
no, it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't, but I'm just saying. But we've seen people be able to come in and in a year or two really start to put on a little bit of muscle, and
that's what they're going to have to do. I mean,
I agree. I think he's going to put on some muscle. But
again, if you're going to come into the league. And you're a foreign player.
We had the same concerns when Kevin Durant was coming into the league about his build. I mean, I know he's had some injuries with his quad or whatever, but he's also been. But Kevin Durant's also been a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP. So I mean, he's had a great career, and he's slim like that. I know he's not as tall as Wembanyama, but. You know what I mean? He kind of has.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal, and this is the way I look at it. I look at it a couple of different ways. Number one, and I said this earlier. I said it on Scripted when we were talking about this with Jeremy Green last night. I said, number one, he's coming to the best situation, right? Popovich, he's worked with French players. He's worked with international players. He's worked with big men and Robinson and Duncan. So if you're going to come to a coach who can specialize in what he's trying to do, this is the best situation for him. I will tell you this. With the build that he has currently right now, the only position that's suitable for him would be power forward. You cannot put this man at the center position and think that he can hold the paint down against Joker, Embiid, or Giannis. He's not, or even Anthony Davis. I mean, he's not going to be able to be that guy. He can shoot the perimeter. He could be a finesse guy. But he cannot hold down the paint at his weight. They will destroy him, and they will break the crap out of him. So he's going to have to put on weight, and that's the thing Popovich is going to have to say. Do you start him out as a power forward until he puts on enough weight that he can hold down the center position, and then you switch him over to center, or how do you navigate that?
Well, I agree with what you're saying. I do believe he needs to put on some muscle and a little bit of weight, but one thing that does help is that these centers don't play with their back to the goal like they used to, as much as they used to. Even Jokic, if you look at Jokic, a lot of time he's up around the free throw line or at the top of the key. These centers play a lot more facing the basket than down low in the post and compared to what they used to. So I think that helps him some. But I do agree. I think he needs to put on some muscle, but I think he will. I think you give the guy a year or two, get accustomed to the American style basketball, and he works on his body a little bit. I think he's going to be tough. But
yeah, and I don't look. This guy doesn't have to be Shaq big. He doesn't have to be Shaq big. All I'm really asking for him to be is like Hakeem Olajuwon big, or even a Tim Duncan big. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of muscle. That put some.
He might get like Olajuwon, but I don't think he'll get as thick. I don't think he'll get as thick as Duncan was.
Right, but even if he can get to Olajuwon thickness, he'll be okay. The problem is if he tries to go down low at the weight class that he's at, he will get pushed around, even by guys that maybe 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", that are, more junk in the trunk. They will push him out of the way. I don't care if he is 7'5", they will push him out of the way. And that's the only hindrance I have. At 7'5", look, at 7'5", you are built. Look, at 7'5", you are built to get those shots down low in the paint. That 5 to 7 foot range away from the basket, you're built for that kind of stuff. Your height is at the advantage. You don't got to be 7'5" to hit a 3-point shot, but you do need to be 7'5" to take advantage of that around the rim. That's where that height is an advantage for you. But if you don't have the weight to sustain yourself down low in the paint, then it's not going to be an advantage. Manute Bol. I know John Suggs said it. He brought it up. Manute Bol was a perfect example of
another thing. Yeah, no, I agree. Go ahead and put on muscle, but his length is going to drive people crazy on defense. So, but yeah, he has to add some weight, I think he will. I mean, like I said, we've seen players be able to do that. So,
I thought it was interesting. Dustin said that he's going to be a bust. Hey, did you see that? Dustin said in the comments that he thinks he's going to be a bust, and he said that he wants to be recognized now. And again, Dustin, that's a hot take, man. If you think he's going to be a bust, I think the guy's got exceptional shooting. He can rebound. He can block. But that's all EuroLeague stuff. I want to see what he does against the Jokers, the Embiids, guys who have weight and who have height, just like he has. I want to see how he plays against them at the weight that he's at. Now, again, we all know that he's not going to be at that weight. We all know he's going to put on – I expect him to put on weight. I really do. My question to you, though, is when he does put on the weight, will he then become possibly at risk to be a Yao Ming? Yao Ming, when he put on the weight – Yao Ming ran into feet issues. And that's a problem with 7'5", 7'6" guys is a lot of times they can get knee issues. They can get feet issues. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that goes on at that height size.
Yeah, I heard today I can't remember. I think it was an interview or something, but he does exercises and does stuff with his feet and stuff that he's been doing here. And that's good. That's good because he's going to need
at
a young age to try to avoid them kind of injuries. So whether it works or not, but at least he's. He seems like a smart dude, and he seems like a really level-headed dude. If you haven't seen the interview that he had with JJ Redick, I recommend going and watching it. It showed a lot about his character and about his mindset and stuff. It was a real good interview. It actually made me think a whole lot different of the guy because this guy seems like he has his head on level and he knows what he's doing. And I think a lot of that comes from these guys that play in these other countries. They play pro ball and stuff, so it's it's a little different. So
he said one of the Kardashians will get a hold of him and fatten him up. I hope the Kardashians don't get a hold of him. Every player they ever get a hold of, they just ruin their lives in the basketball world. Hey, question though, Scoot Henderson has come out and said that he thinks he should be number one, or he feels like he should be the number one guy. I mean, hey, I think Scoot's a wonderful player. I've watched some of the stuff that he's done in the G League. I mean, who's to say that Scoot Henderson, maybe is the better player at number one? And that's my question for you guys. do we really 100% believe that Wembanyama is the number one guy, or could Scoot possibly be the number one guy? Of course, you're not going to know that until after they go out and play, and then we look at the redraft like we always do, and we say, okay, let's redraft that specific draft class, right?
I think Wembanyama is the number one guy. Just from what I've seen, or from what I've seen tape of both players and everything. But honestly, I don't think Scoot's going to go number 2. I think Brandon Miller's going to go number 2.
Yes, that's a good point.
I think Scoot's going to go number 3 in the draft. I really do.
And that's interesting you said that, because we all know, even Jeremy Green said last night when he was talking about the mock draft, he was for Sashi, that he had Scoot Henderson going 3, and he had Brandon Miller going at number 2. I've seen mock draft that had Brandon Miller going at number 4 to the Rockets, but then again, that was before he was cleared of all the wrongdoing or what have you. So that really opened him back up into the draft. So now that makes me think, which Thompson, I know Jeremy alluded that one of the Thompson brothers was going to come to, he wouldn't which one, but
he basically said if you put both of them together, you'd have one hell of a complete player.
Right. Otherwise, you get one of the other. You either get the shooter or you get the slasher, but you don't get both attributes.
Yeah. He said Henderson will shine at Charlotte. Don't give me this. They're going to trade it away for 2 big players. Scoot looks impressive, and also the kid from Bama.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the way I'm leaning. I know Jeremy said that he thinks Miller's going number 2, and I know that the kid at number 2, but I think Scoot Henderson goes number 2. I really think now they have come out and the general manager for the Hornets came out and said, because Jeremy Green, which he had a very valid point, Scoot Henderson and LaMelo Ball play the same position, but the manager said, we are not looking for fit. We are looking for the best available player at that position. If that's the case, then I think they take Scoot Henderson, and then they have an issue with LaMelo, and I think that maybe could possibly put Melo Ball up for trade bait to see if they get future draft picks or another free agent. Or 2.
Like I said, I don't think Charlotte takes Scoot at 2. I think he'll be at 3.
Jay, who do you think?
But John says he thinks Scoot could drop to number 4.
I hope he does. I hope Scoot drops right at number 4. I hope the Rockets scoop him up.
One of the Thompson brothers could sneak up there and go 3. Is why he is.
And I'm okay with that too. Hey, John, if you put that out there and that happens.
You think there's going to be any? You think there's going to be any big trades tomorrow night? Teams trying to move up.
That's what I want. That's what I was kind of thinking too.
This is not a deep draft. It's really not talent wise, not a real deep draft. So I think you might see some of these teams trying to move up. I know Charlotte has said they're getting a lot of people, or they've had a lot of people calling about that pick, but they're not going to make a decision till the last second. Which I don't blame them. Wait and see what. Because that you know how it is, deadlines force action. So closer it gets, but I mean, so I don't know. I mean, you might see some teams. I know there was a few trades today. The Pacers traded away a couple of their late first round picks to Denver earlier today. There was a big rumor or a big trade that talks about Kristaps Porzingis going to the Celtics, and then now it came out that's fell apart, which I thought that was a stupid trade for the Celtics. That trade to me made no sense for the Celtics. Why the hell are you getting rid of – you need a point guard. That's what we're all saying. They need another point guard. You have Brogdon, who was the 6th man of the year. He got hurt in the play. I know he got hurt in the playoffs, hurt his arm in the playoffs there, but he was 6th man of the year. It made no sense to me to do that for Porzingis when you already have two. You already have a couple centers. You have tall players. So to me, that move didn't make a lot of sense to me. Which now,
hold on. I'm trying to understand this, and maybe you guys have better intel than what I'm getting at. I know Dustin said breaking NBA news: Porzingis is going to Boston. But from what I was reading that the deal fell through. It was a 3-team deal between the Clippers, Boston, and the Wizards, and that the deal fell through, and that the Porzingis hadn't gone to Boston yet. Have y'all seen something differently reported than what I've seen?
Before the show, I had read a report that the deal had fell apart, but
He's saying he just
Dustin is saying that they just acquired him. But
I know it says here an hour ago that the Wizards and the Celtics was working on a deal just between those two teams. What fell apart in that 3-team deal was the health of
Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon, and that's the Clippers was worried about his health. But evidently, the trade has been made. I didn't like the deal for Boston. The original deal.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the Porzingis to Boston either. I didn't like Porzingis in Dallas. I didn't like Porzingis with the Wizards. You know,
I guess Woj ESPN put it out 8 minutes ago, according to Dustin and John. So I haven't been on Twitter, so that's why I haven't seen it. But
yeah, I mean, I haven't been on Twitter either. And again, I mean, if that is the case,
I don't understand why they're. I mean, well, I guess now you didn't get rid of Brogdon, but still, is Porzingis the guy that's going to get them over?
You name me one team. You name me one team where Porzingis has made a damn difference, and then I'll be okay with that trade. Porzingis, in my opinion, I'm not going to say he's a full bust, but he hasn't lived up to the $36 million that they're going to pay this guy for the 23-24 season. So I don't know what Boston thinks they're going to get out of him that every other team hasn't. I don't know. I think Boston definitely got some issues there. I don't think that's going to help them one way or the other.
I don't know what the deal is right now, but the original deal, I didn't like Boston was going to lose Brogdon and Morris. Both.
Okay, well, hold on. This just a minute ago from Woj. The Celtics are trading Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies as part of the deal. So Marcus Smart is going to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Wow.
Washington is completing a three-way deal with Boston and Memphis that will send guard Tyus Jones to the Wizards. Wojnarowski just put out.
Wow.
Tyus Jones is going to the Wizards. Marcus Smart is going to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Wow. I can't believe they let go of Marcus Smart. That was a big part of their team, and they're letting go of that for Porzingis? Really?
Especially because, I mean, I've always thought they needed a point guard. Marcus Smart was one of their point guard, but I thought they needed another guy that was more of a true point guard. Now you get rid of Smart. You got Brogdon who's hurt. So you're telling okay. So, all right. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I think Boston lost. I think the Wizards lost. And I think the only winner out of this 3-team deal was the Memphis Grizzlies. See, I agree with John. I'd have rather spent the extra money and got Karl Anthony Towns over Porzingis.
No, I get that. I get that. Look, all I'm saying is, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but if this 3-team deal is what's transpired, then Memphis is the only team I think that truly won.
According to Woj, this was 1 minute ago, and you know how plugged in Woj is, so I would say that it's happening. Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
I understand why what Dust said about replace Brogdon. Takes Smart's place.
Oh yeah. If Brogdon's healthy,
that's the problem.
Brogdon was 6th man of the year. He played good last year, but how's his arm?
But that's been the problem the last 2 or 3 years. He's not been able to stay healthy.
Was a back now. It's then in the playoffs it was his arm. No, Brogdon.
I like Brogdon.
I do
too. He's had a hard time staying healthy.
John says Grizzly needed a Smart because they got rid of loudmouth Dillon. No, Smart's a good pickup for the Grizzlies.
I think the Grizzlies won that trade. I'll be honest with you. I think they're the ones that won. I think Boston's going to regret this trade. I think the Wizards don't give a damn because they're tearing their team down anyway. So whatever they do, it doesn't really matter. I think it really comes down to Memphis. I think it comes down to Memphis and Boston. Boston got Porzingis, but it does nothing for them. If anything, it deteriorates because Smart was a really good defender. He gave them a little bit of edge. Now they don't have that. Memphis, like you said, they get rid of loudmouth. They bring in Marcus Smart. He's going to add stability and defense and toughness to that Grizzlies team. Grizzlies, Randy Jowers.
John Suggs says, "Don't hold your breath." Boston CP3.
What's CP3 gonna do for Boston? Honestly, hey, that really.
Hey, Damien's back. How's it going, Damien? Hey, just so you know, the actions of Jay McLovin do not reflect G.S.R. or the ASAP Sports Network. So since he was the one that banned you, it had nothing to do with us.
Hey, it's just Mexicans. He banned me too, Damien.
Yeah,
He's against
we figured it out. He don't like
Sorry.
Mexicans.
Sorry, Damien.
Well, I did move back to Texas, and we did have the Battle of the Alamos. So you just do what you want with that as you will.
He said probably drinking the sorrows right now.
Now you get along with Frankie, but Frankie's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah, Frankie's Puerto Rican. Look, do not mix Puerto Rican and Mexicans. That's a bad. I dated a Puerto Rican one time, and I called her Mexican, and I never called her Rican.
John, I would rather see Boston go after Van Fleet to replace Smart.
That's a good question, guys. Dunleavy came out and said that he wants Draymond Green to stay a part of the Golden State Warriors. Do you think that Green actually leaves Golden State?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think he's going to see. I think he wants to see what's out there. Are these teams really going to pay him more than? Are going to pay him $27 million, almost $28 million a season, like he could make if he would.
My money is that Green will be a Golden State Warrior come next season, based on exactly what you just said. Nobody's going to give him that kind of money.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think Jay does too. I think Smart for the Grizzlies was a good move.
Yeah, absolutely, it was a good move. And again, if I'm Randy Jowers, I'm probably going to bed tonight saying, you know what, my team got better tonight. My team just got better. So yeah, and I think Randy would be happily to tell you that. What a time to be alive. But again, Draymond Green is out there. There's been links to numbers of teams for him to go to. Even the Pacers, I think, were at one point a link for him to go to. I don't think you guys want Draymond. I wouldn't want Draymond.
I like his toughness.
It would have to be a team-friendly deal for me to even think about.
But what's team-friendly? Do you think he's going to take a team-friendly deal? He ain't taking no team-friendly deal.
That's what I'm saying. The only way if I was in charge, the only way I'm bringing him in if I'm the Pacers is if I get him a team-friendly deal. I'm not paying him a bunch of money, no.
I do like what Dustin said about Van Fleet. I can see Van Fleet going to Chicago. Like he said, he does have friends there, and he would be a good addition to that squad.
Yeah,
I think that would be a great addition. Let me ask you guys a question real quick. Wembanyama does go to San Antonio. What do you think the time frame would be for San Antonio with the acquisition of him? And I've also seen that they are looking to possibly give a max deal to Austin Reeves from L.A. So if you bring Austin Reeves over there, you know, how long are we looking at this turnaround for San Antonio?
It's tough until you really get to see him Wembanyama play.
Of course.
To see. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years.
I was gonna say the same thing. If Wembanyama, if he pans out, I'll say 2 to 3 years.
If he's what everybody thinks he is, I'll say 2 to 3 years, so he can get more pieces around him, and that gives him time to work on his body some. So I'd say
that's what John Suggs says. John Suggs says 3 years. You guys would say 2 to 3. I think 3 years is probably the right amount of time. Sure.
Jay, who do you think? I mean, you can't say for sure, but I'm sure you looked at the draft. Who do you think Houston ends up with?
You know, who do I?
I know who you.
I do think. Okay, we know the top 5 is going to come down to Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller. Those are 3 for sure. The Thompson brothers could be your 4 and 5, right? Depending on who they go. So I think for Houston, I think it's probably going to come down to one of the Thompson brothers. I do agree with Jeremy Green that I think we get one of the Thompson brothers, and it just depends on which Thompson brother Udoka feels will best complement our other players. So I do think we get Thompson. I think Brandon Miller is either 2 and 3, right? Miller and Scoot Henderson, and then at number 4, that's where Houston's at. We're gonna get one of the Thompson brothers. That's where I see that really going.
Wait a minute, Dustin. You just said he's going to be a bust, but you think the Spurs make the playoffs in 1 year? Okay.
Okay. Now that he's gonna. Okay, Dustin, you're gonna have to do a little bit of explaining on that one. I gotta give him credit because he did say that he thought Wembanyama would be a bust. So if that's the case, how are they going to be playoffs in 1 year? That I do need a little bit of elaboration on.
Look at John says.
Told you, Dustin and Damon said, wow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, hold on.
John's coming in hot. John's been coming in hot all night.
Oh, wow. John, what are you drinking tonight? Are you drinking a tequila?
Wait, are you drinking the same thing Jay McLovin is?
Apple juice.
Yeah, my ass.
Apple juice with some apple crown.
No. You know what? Real quick, me and the wife came to the decision, and we said we were going to be more budget conscious. And so she said, Jay, I need you to switch over to vodka. So she tricked me one night. She gave me a vodka tonic with a little bit of lime. I actually said, you know what? This is kind of refreshing. And so ever since then, I've been doing vodka tonics. I don't know what it is. It's pretty good stuff.
Dustin said they make the playoffs because of Popovich.
Well, if that's the case, where have they been at the last 5 years?
John says not now. Stopped at 5 p.m. Had to go to work.
Hey, somebody's got to go to work. Damn it! He said, "Mix with pineapple. Your girl will thank me." You know what? Hey, John, I actually have some pineapple that's not upside down because I have learned that if you put an upside down pineapple in your front yard, it means you're a swinger. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. A little bit of information. So I make sure all my pineapples are right side up because my wife would be pissed if she saw a swinger scenario in the living room because I put a pineapple outside mistakenly upside down.
Upside down pineapple.
Oh shit!
Baby, I didn't know. Did you know that? They're here in the living room right now.
Did you see that, Jay?
NBA executives had the Rockets trading down from their current pick and taking Cam Whitmore from Villanova. I didn't see it. Is that true? Is that like a legit? Dustin, what is your source? I need to know the source on that one because if that's the case, I'm about to go refill my vodka cup and pretend I didn't hear that shit.
Jay's gonna turn on some Hank Williams Jr. and drink another glass of vodka.
Hey, listen. Jay likes some Hank Williams. Little Merv.
Hey, I like some Hank Williams as well.
I used to. No, I like Hank Williams Jr. too.
Hey, I like what
we get out of here.
Old country. This new country. I don't get into this new country crap. I don't know what
Before we get out of here, yeah, I like the old country. I couldn't tell you probably one song out of the new country.
I will tell you this, hey, real quick, and this is just a quick one. And hey, if you guys don't know, me and Gonzo, one of these days we're gonna come out with a music show where me and him just sit down and we cut the rug on what we think about music. But I will say this: if you guys have not listened to Aaron Lewis country albums, you're missing out.
I like
You're
Aaron
missing
Lewis.
out.
No, I like Aaron Lewis.
That dude really is old school country, even in the new school era. And I love it. I love everything about him. But anyway.
John said, do you agree on the 25-game suspension?
No, I do not. I think it should have been more. Straight up. Should have been more. What's 25 games going to do?
Hey,
What's that really going to do for
Jay, when this was happening, how many games did I say he was going to get suspended for?
I think you said right about 25 to 30 games.
I said about the quarter of the season is what I figured. And I based it off of it because of what they gave Gilbert Arenas. And he took guns.
Gilbert brought a damn handgun into the locker room.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And he only got 50 games. So I didn't think they were going to give John Morant.
Well, and again, hey guys, look, this was a total NBA call. We all know that the Players Association really has a lot of weight. And look, I understand the player association is out there for the players, right, and their best interest. But at the same time, sometimes some things need to be dealt with regardless. And if you're doing the things that he's doing, come on, man. Let's use our head a little bit on this.
And I'll tell you this. After talking to Jeremy Green last night, it sounded like he knew some stuff, a lot of stuff, other stuff that Ja's been doing and stuff that's been going on that maybe has all been reported about. Just that's kind of the vibe from the way he was talking last night.
I'm sure. And again, hey, sometimes, hey, look, when you work for ESPN Radio, you know they got public information that we don't get. So
and he's only like an hour and a half or so away from Memphis. He's not far. You know what I mean? He's not far from that area. So that's why. And I'll tell you what, I actually watched some of his show last night. Later on that last night, I've seen him before because, like I said, I've seen him.
Yeah, if you haven't tuned into this, look, actually, I really like the way he does sports. You know,
that was my second time doing the show, being on the show with him. But then, I've seen him on McAfee show, and because he's friends with Pat and stuff. So, and I've seen some of his comedy stuff. So it's good. He's a cool dude.
He's not as good as me. I don't care what he said. Look, just because the man's going on tour, he ain't as good as me. Jeremy Green, I love you. Anytime you want to have a comedy showdown, look, my whole damn life is comedy. So I got material that even most people ain't never heard about. Okay.
But if you haven't checked out the Sportsocracy, I do recommend go check them guys out.
Absolutely. Check out the Sportsocracy. Absolutely. No, seriously, Jeremy Green is a really upfront guy. Good takes, good comedy. Keeps it real. Doesn't sugarcoat anything. Gonzo, we all had a good time hanging out last night. We're gonna have Jeremy Green back on. I'm sure Gonzo will have him on his shows too. Now that he's got a report, so we expect to hang out with Jeremy a lot more, and we're gonna have a good time talking sports regardless. Whoever comes on our show, we're gonna have a good time. I love it.
Dustin, I think I'm almost called Dustin Davian. But Dustin says source came from Sports Illustrated top NBA writer 2 days ago about the Houston Rockets.
Also,
if it comes out from Sports Illustrated, I could give two fucks because their last swimsuit issue wasn't exactly the best.
Damon says, "Are you streaming Money in the Bank? When's Money in the Bank?"
It's Saturday, July 1st.
Don't know yet.
It's at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Don't know yet. Damien, we might. A lot of it depends on what we got going on. If we have wrestling show or what we got going on that weekend.
Hey, Gonzo, real quick.
I'm not sure on
Gonzo, real quick. Can we let everybody know that we are cranking the afternoon show back up starting tomorrow? So we will be back on a regular schedule with that. So that way people are tracking.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it earlier on my other show as well. But yeah, I was definitely going to make sure that we get that out there. But yeah, I mentioned on the Easy Money, a sports betting show this afternoon as well.
Good deal.
Yeah, I got one quick question for you. Dalvin Cook, is he going to be a Cowboy?
You know, I hope so. Right now, all we got in the banks right now, even after the draft has already transpired, is Tony Pollard. Right? We got Ron Jones, you know, from Kansas City, which is a byproduct of the Atlanta Falcons. But truthfully, you know, we don't know when Pollard's not coming back at the beginning of the season. I don't expect Pollard to be back at least by week 6, maybe at best. So it would behoove the Cowboys to bring in Dalvin Cook, give him a $10 million deal. I think the man's worth $10 million. Give him a $10 million deal. That's about the average pay for a veteran running back. And let's put this man in a Cowboys uniform. And I think because what was Zeke? Quote unquote, he was, the ground and pound guy. Tony Pollard is the finesse guy. So we kind of need that ground and pound guy to accommodate Pollard. So I think that's where Dalvin Cook would come in nicely at this point. So Jerry Jones, if you hear this podcast at some point, bring in Dalvin. You're going to get a good product. You're getting about $10 million, and let's continue mission. I think that would be a great asset to our team for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good pickup.
We'll see. Don't be surprised, though. Don't be surprised if Dalvin winds up in Buffalo and reunites with his brother. I kind of think maybe that might be something in the works, too. I want him to go to the Cowboys, but I wouldn't be surprised if he links up with his brother James out there in Buffalo.
John says Cook going to Dallas or the Bears.
I don't know if he goes to the Bears because they just got that dude from Carolina. God, he was on my team last year, my fantasy team last year. Help me out there. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know.
McCaffrey?
No, not McCaffrey.
No.
McCaffrey went to San Francisco. I'm saying the dude that left. It was McCaffrey's replacement last year.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name right now. He played real well, though. I can't think of it either.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll have it for you.
Yeah,
Foreman. Devontae Foreman.
Yeah, Devontae Foreman.
There you go. Thank you, Devontae Foreman. They have Devontae Foreman, so I don't think they're going to necessarily go after Dalvin because they brought in Devontae Foreman to replace Montgomery that went to Detroit. So I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. I think if he goes anywhere, I think he goes to Dallas. I think Dallas has a need. I think he plugs in that need. I think Buffalo has a need. I think he plugs in the need at Buffalo. So look at maybe one of those 2 spots as to where he's going. John So says Zeke going to Miami for chump change. They already had 3. Look, Zeke can go there all he wants. I give 2 damn flying fucks. Pardon my French.
Dustin says Cook goes to Miami. I don't think Cook goes.
I don't think Cook goes to Miami. Everybody wants to plug Miami in that equation. Miami's already got 3 damn running backs over there, and Wilson and Mostert and the other guy. I forget the other guy's name. They got plenty of running backs. I don't think he goes there.
John says he thinks Hopkins going to New England.
I do think Hopkins goes to New England because he spent several days there and he likes it there. I think New England likes him there. I think him paired up on the opposite side of Parker and Smith-Schuster will give them an incredible wide receiver core for Mac Jones. So I do think he probably will wind up at New England.
I thought so too, but he left there without a deal, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he also went to Tennessee, where Vrabel was his offensive coordinator down there in Texas, and left there without a contract.
Tennessee. Hey, he's going to Tennessee. Tennessee took him to go see Tim McGraw.
You're only saying Tennessee because I said New England. That's all. Look. Hey, Gonzo, I've been podcasting with you and your father for a hot minute now, and I know how the both of you think. And the only reason you're saying that kind of shit is because I said New England. If I would have said Tennessee, you'd have said Bill O'Brien and New England.
I said that as a joke.
Your manipulation tactics don't fool me.
Listen, Jay, I said it as a joke because Tennessee did. They took him when he was down there to recruit. They took him to watch.
Oh, I said that for real. You were joking. I was for real. You guys only said that shit because I said A, so automatically you had to go B.
No, I just don't want him to go to New England because I don't want to hear Frankie shit.
Hey, listen. Hey, watch this. Tony, do you really think I want to hear? Look, who do you think Frankie is the first one to say some shit to? He's in my DMs like my mother-in-law's in my DMs, okay? 24/7.
Yeah. I still think that you can see Hopkins in Kansas City. I agree.
I could see Cook going to Houston. I mean, but Houston already has that other running back down there. Who's that dude that's running the ball pretty well down there right now? They have a pretty decent running back already.
Pierce,
thank you. Damian Pierce. He's doing a good job down there. I don't know that he necessarily needs to go there unless they want to do a 1-2, try to do a 1-2 punch, maybe. Who knows, man? I mean, honestly, we're not going to know that for at least a few more weeks.
All right. Well, Jay and Dad, both of you guys got any final thoughts before we get out of here tonight?
I'm letting age go before beauty. So, Tony, you're up.
I really don't. I'm a little bit surprised, like you said, about Boston getting Porzingis. I don't quite understand it, but we'll see.
Okay, I'll go up next. Hey, listen, guys, if you want your name for $29.95 a month to be on Tony's booster seat, we will gladly grant you that permission.
Sponsorship.
$29.95.
$29.95.
Hey, look, that pays for the StreamYard. Let's go.
Yeah.
No, hey, for real though. Honestly, man, look, I love these guys. I love Tony. I love Gonzo. Like they're my family. They are my family, and it's just good to be back. It's good to be back podcasting with you guys. I enjoy it every day. All I want to say is congratulations to the Reds for what they've accomplished up to this point. Congratulations to Logan's team for the Braves doing what they're doing. And I'm just happy that we took 2 games out of 3 versus the Mets. We got a day off, and then we'll hit the road, and hopefully we can do some damage against the Rangers, gain a little bit of ground. Other than that, make sure you catch me and Gonzo tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central, and we're going to get our afternoon show kicked back up. And then don't forget Unscripted tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. We will start talking about picks 1 through 5 and a few other NBA topics as we get ready for that ultimate draft that's going to happen tomorrow night. I'm excited for it. I think Gonzo's excited for it. Tony will most likely chirp in from wherever it is he's at. And it's going to be a good night, folks. And thank you for tuning in to the late night show. We've had a great show. I've been watching the count all night, and we've been averaging good viewership. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate John Suggs. Damian Hernandez, I didn't ban you on purpose. I just wanted to put you in timeout. Somehow it became a Tony Gonzalez ban 2.0. And don't hate me. Don't hurt me. And tune into Unscripted. Damian, you know we love you to death, man. Dustin, appreciate you for coming in tonight. We value your takes as always. And I will hit you up later. And that's all I got to say, man. Jay McLovin.
First of all, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Please like, share, comment. That helps a lot. Helps more than what you guys know. The likes and the shares and the comments do. So please keep doing that. We appreciate all you guys. Also, join us for Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're giving out our picks. We're giving out our picks. So we've son of a bitch.
I saw that and the redneck shit. Hey, look, I get that all the time. It's all good.
My picks are 354 and 290 on the year so far. So come join us for that Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, this weekend on Saturday, we'll be live streaming 2 pro wrestling shows. That's going to be taking place at a fair here in Indiana. Should be great shows. And on Sunday afternoon, we'll be live streaming another show. So we're going to have three wrestling shows live streaming on our YouTube page at GonzoSportsRoom and at the All Sports All Plays Network on YouTube as well. You can also find it on Twitch and Twitter. But I'll put out flyers about the exact times on those. So we got 3 big wrestling shows coming up this weekend. And then we also have tomorrow's Thursday. So tomorrow's just Easy Money, a sports betting show. Got the 3 wrestling shows. Also check out G.S.R, our wrestling show every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We had another good show this week. Talk a lot of old school wrestling. But hit that subscribe button on YouTube at GonzoSportsRoom and at the All Sports All Plays Network and at Unscripted Sports.
Everybody check out Unscripted.
Also like, follow on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all at GonzoSportsRoom, ASAP Sports Network, Unscripted guys on Twitter, Unscripted on Facebook. We all of us appreciate it. And Jay, did you have something?
Real quick? Don't forget your. I guess Dustin wanted us to make sure we plugged Monday. I guess you guys are bringing back the baseball show. I guess you wanted us to plug that.
Yeah, Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Screen went black, but my screen just went black on me all of a sudden. No, I think trying to remember if there was anything else before I stopped to let Jay jump in.
I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, just make sure you guys tune in Monday for that baseball show at 9 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to want to talk more about this Reds bullshit. So make sure you turn in Monday at 9 o'clock. And hey, interestingly enough, I think today is the 22nd. So I think Monday is God knows what, damn near almost July 1. So I promise you, if by some miraculous thing happens in the universe, and if they are able to sweep the Braves, or at the very least, even win the series against the Braves, Monday, 9 a.m., I promise you, Eastern Standard Time, Gonzo's going to want to tell you about it.
Oh, hey, if they sweep the Braves, I'm gonna do the show Monday, standing on the table with my Reds tattoo in front of the camera, and that's all you guys are gonna see. You just be able to hear my voice.
Hey, as long as it's your leg and not some other leg, we're good.
Oh man!
Oh, those. But look, I love this show. I really do. Late night is the best night.
But we appreciate everybody watching. Like Jay said, tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern, join us for the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. And we hope everybody enjoyed the show. We appreciate all the comments, likes, the follows. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you guys on Friday for another episode of G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room. Have a good night.